Assalamualaikum and hi. We, Group 3, will present on strategies for interest and pressure groups in advancing sustainable development. This is our group members for Group 3. Now, let's move on to the introduction. My name is FIRAS bin SALLEH. Sustainable Development Goals SDG definition. SDG is a blueprint for addressing the global challenges that we face in the economic, social and ecological sector. In general, SDG goal is to provide security for a sustainable future for all people, both now and in the future. It was launched in September 2015 as a part of the United Nations UN Development Agenda and consists of 17 goals. Sustainable Development Goals SDG 1 is to end poverty by ensuring equal access to resource and social protection. SDG 2 is to end hunger by providing safe, nutrients and sufficient food for all, while SDG 3 is to ensure healthy lifestyle and well-being for people of all ages. Provide inclusive, quality education and lifelong learning for all is SDG 4. SDG 5 is to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. SDG 6 is to ensure clean water and sanitation for everyone. And for SDG 7 is to provide affordable, reliable and sustainable energy for all.
Hello everyone, my name is SHAMEEL and I will be explaining the SDG 8 till SDG 17. Now, SDG 8 focus on promoting decent work opportunities and sustainable economic growth to improve people's quality of life. SDG 9 aims to develop sustainable infrastructure and support long-term economic development. SDG 10 seeks to reduce inequality by ensuring fair opportunities and equal treatment for all people. SDG 11 aims to make cities safe and resilient. SDG 12 promotes responsibility consumption and production to reduce waste. SDG 13 calls for an urgent action to address any climate change. SDG 14 focuses on protecting oceans and marine life. SDG 15 aims to protect the land, ecosystem, forests, and biodiversity for the future generation. SDG 16 promotes peace, justice, and strong institutions. SDG 17 emphasizes on global partnership and cooperation to achieve all sustainable development goals.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Binti MANAH and my number matric is 2023-6557-64, and I will be present about the roles of interest and pressure groups in driving change to advance sustainable development. Okay, the first role is policy influence. Interest and pressure groups play a crucial role in shaping public policy by lobbying government to adapt sustainable practice. This group also often provide policymakers with relevant information, research and expert opinion. This input can be invaluable in drafting and amending laws that reflect the needs of publics. These two groups also advocate for stronger environmental regulation, social justice policies and fair economic reforms. According to the report, interest and pressure groups have a major effect on policy by using their resources and tactics to shape the decision. Other than that, this group often work with government officials to reach their goal. They may offer financial help or advice to schools, but usually they push for reforms that support their own interests. Although they can help schools in some ways, they usually limit broader the educational goals by influencing administrators and policies to focus on specific issues. For example, Greenpeace used lobbying to encourage and persuade individuals in position of power to take the bold action necessary to safeguard the environment. The second role is public awareness and education. Interest and pressure groups are important in creating awareness and educating society about public issues and policy change. They contribute to informed decision making and increase awareness of important issues by giving information, research and expert opinions to both the general public and policymakers regarding specific concerns. It also said that this group encourage debate, discussion and dispute in democracy. By doing so, they build a more informed and educated electorate. This means that most of them function primarily by using their ability to connect with the public and create political awareness among of them. They also frequently commit large resources to doing research maintaining website, commenting on government policies, and employing high-profile professors, scientists, and even celebrities to voice their ideas, while also challenging well-established viewpoints and conventional knowledge. For example, Sahabat Alam Malaysia, or known as Friends of the Earth Malaysia (SAM), organize programs to give information and technical expertise to indigenous, fishing, and agriculture community partners, as well as students, youth, and women, and the general public. They are also frequently invited to speak and present at events organized by governmental and civil society associations on a national and worldwide. The last role is monitoring and accountability. Interest and pressure groups act as a watchdog by monitoring the action of government and corporation. They ensure that development projects follow sustainability guidelines and are not damaging the environment and communities. This group promote transparency and responsiveness in government by analyzing policies, budget, and implementation methods. This function is important for prevent corruption and ensuring that public funds are spent efficiently. For instance, in India, the Association for Democratic Reform, or known as ADR, monitors the electoral process and advocate for more transparency in political fundraising. Their efforts have led to significant reforms and increased public awareness about the necessity of clean and fair election. Another example is Greenpeace choose action which will have the strongest positive impact, whether by immediately stopping harm or by influencing leaders to make better decisions. They also monitors environmental crimes by conducting investigation to determine who is responsible for deforestation. They will hold the culprits responsible by revealing destructive operations that harm people and the environment. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is NATASYA and today I'm going to present about 3.0, which is strategies that is used by interest and pressure group in driving change in sustainable development. The first strategy is lobbying and policy engagement. Sustainable development is not something that government can achieve alone. It is an ongoing effort that requires everyone in society. This is where interest and pressure groups play an important role. They use policy advocacy as a tool to influence laws, budgets, and government programs at different levels. This group follow a clear step-by-step process, starting with exploring the issues, planning, implementing actions, analyzing results, adapting strategies, and eventually exiting when goals are achieved. Along the way, they identify key issues, build alliances, organize meetings, and share reports. Through this structured approach, pressure groups are able to influence policymakers and encourage governments to adopt sustainable initiatives through formal policy, regulations, and long-term planning. Lobbying can be direct or indirect. Direct lobbying involves talking to decision makers and participating in policy discussion. Meanwhile, indirect lobbying encourages others like community groups to speak up and mobilize public support to pressure policymakers on sustainability issues. In short, pressure groups play a crucial role in shaping and promoting sustainable development policies. As an example, in 2018, a coalition of Malaysian NGOs joined forces to lobby political parties to prioritize on environmental protection and sustainable development. They issued an open letter urging all parties to include strong environmental commitments in their election manifestos. The letter was neutral and non-partisan, avoiding praise or criticism of any political group so it could serve purely as advocacy. The effort involved well-known organizations such as WWF Malaysia, EcoNites, Rechecks Malaysia, EPSM, Trees, and the Malaysian Nature Society. This approach helps shape political debate, promote accountability, and keep environmental issues on the national agenda. Second is public campaign and media advocacy. The public campaign approach is often used by organizations that monitor government action and raise the alarm when problems or wrongdoing occur. It is especially useful when direct access to officials is limited, making it an outsider approach to influence the policy. Media advocacy is another important tool. By covering topics like SDGs, climate change, and local sustainability, the media help the public to learn, mobilize support, and encourage policymakers to act. Over time, this consistent awareness helps create a well-informed public that can demand change and support programs that protect the environment for future generations. For instance, the Act Now campaign by the UN Communication Group (UNCG) was implemented in Malaysia ahead of the 78th UN General Assembly and Global SDG Summit, encouraging individuals to take action for a sustainable planet, fairer society, and a stronger economy. The UNCG used a three-pronged strategy, and one of it is online outreach, which combines digital engagement, partnership, and events to reach a diverse audience. Through e-bulletins, WhatsApp, message, and social media, it reached and engaged a wide network of civil society, organizations, media outlets, and the public, which keep them informed about SDG-related initiatives, encouraging participation and sharing practical ways to take action towards sustainable development. Finally, another important strategy for promoting sustainable development is collaborating with influential partners. Partnership between corporations, NGOs, government, and other stakeholders help pressure group gain support for meaningful initiatives. This collaboration encourages people to rethink the traditional role of business in society, improve understanding between the corporate and non-profit sector, and influence how individuals evaluate development policies and strategies. The United Nations emphasized the importance of strengthening the role of NGOs, civil society, the private sector, and other stakeholders through global partnership. The UN support public-private collaboration in areas such as job creation, health, agriculture, environmental conservation, energy, forestry, and climate action. Partnership allow efficient use of financial, human resource, and technological resources, while also fostering innovation and knowledge sharing. The cooperation contribute technology and expertise, while NGOs provide insight into community needs and environmental challenge. Together, they co-create sustainable development solutions. For example, the EcoNight is a leading Malaysian environmental NGO that works with diverse teams of officers, interns, and volunteers to promote sustainability. Its success is driven by partnership with cooperation, educational institutions, government agencies, and other NGOs, including Yayasan Hasanah, ABDUL, University Malaya, and ASEAN Foundation. The programs such as Tree for Us, which has planted over 5,000 trees nationwide, the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festivals, which bring together artists and environmentalists, and Guardian Against Garbage, GAG, which collected 7 tons of shoes to upcycle into playground mats, which demonstrate measurable impact. Through collaboration with students, corporate partners, and local communities, EcoNights continue to foster a culture of environmental responsibility. That's all for me. Thank you. I will pass to it for the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is FALIHA binti Ali. My metric number is 2023865382, and I will explain the challenges faced by interest and pressure groups in driving change. So, the first challenge faced by interest and pressure group in driving change is political resistance. This means a lack of government engagement. It happens when government actors or policymakers are unwilling to engage with interest and pressure groups. This creates a participation gap where civil society wants to contribute but their influence is restricted. Why is it a problem? This is because it limits NGOs' access to policymakers. When access is limited, it makes lobbying policy dialogues less effective. For example, even strong evidence becomes ignored when political actors resist engagement. This can be seen in Kuantan, Malaysia, where environmental NGOs protested the Linas Rare Earths plant due to radioactive waste risk. But despite strong scientific evidence, the government gave weak responses and continued approving license. This showing how political resistance can block environmental advocacy. To overcome this challenge, interest groups need stronger and more structured engagement strategies. One effective approach is form coalitions to increase influence. By this, multiple NGOs unite and increase credible voice, so harder for government to ignore. A good example is the Malaysian CSO SDG Alliance, which successfully engaged ministries through policy dialogues and reports. In addition, community pressure such as in Kota Damansara and Bukit Kiara shows that when resident pressures leaders to protect forests, governments are more likely to respond. So the next challenge is limited funding and resources. It means struggle to sustain long-term advocacy campaigns, lack the capacity to hire and retain skilled staff, and face constraint when conducting community work. This is because many NGOs rely on grants and donations, so funding is unstable and easily affected by shifting donor priorities. When funding is limited, NGOs struggle to run long-term campaigns, hire skilled staff, or conduct research. In consequence, small NGOs especially struggle to run public awareness campaigns or joint policy discussion. According to findings reported in Global Environmental Politics, smaller environmental NGOs struggle to enter global decision-making spaces because of limited budget. In Malaysia, NGOs like Malaysian Nature Society, MNS, and small wildlife NGOs had to reduce clean-up activities and wildlife monitoring due to insufficient funding. To address this issue, NGOs need to diversify their funding sources. This includes corporate social responsibility, CSR partnership with private companies, community-based fundraising, and social enterprises. For example, platforms like Volunteer Connect link NGOs with Corporation for CSR support. Other than that, by having structured government support through multi-year grants from agencies like Ministry of RES to ensure continuity. For instance, Social Exchange Pilot Program SEPP25 provides more stable funding access. The last challenge is public ignorance and misinformation. Public ignorance refers to low public understanding of scientific facts, risk, or policy-related information. In simple terms, it means a lack of public awareness. Meanwhile, misinformation refers to false or misleading claims that spread without evidence. Low public awareness about environmental issues lead to people that don't understand risks or policies, while misinformation spreads easily on social media, carry distrust in experts. Consequently, NGOs struggle to mobilize communities and build partnerships because people not see the urgency. Studies near industrial areas show that residents living close to pollution have low environmental awareness and low willingness to act. This is seen along Kelang River, where people in squatter areas have poorer knowledge and practices, while those in formal housing understand more but still take only moderate action. This leads to weak participation in environmental programs. To overcome this challenge, interest groups must strengthen community education by collaborating with schools and so on. For example, programs such as the Sustainability Exploration Program from Yard to the World, the Sungai Langat River, the Nairan 2025, and the Kuda program demonstrate how you can bring together Yard, policymakers, NGOs, and the public to cultivate environmental awareness. When the public is better informed, collaboration becomes stronger and advocacy efforts gain long-term support. That's all from me.
We will move on to 5.0 changes in advancing sustainability. Enhance environmental sustainability awareness. University students plays an important role in enhancing sustainability awareness by acting as educators and role models within the community. They help introduce basic sustainability and explain why environmental protection are essential for human health and ecological balance. Through these programs, workshops, outreach activities, students translate academic knowledge into practical actions such as waste reduction, responsibility consumption, energy saving, and eco-friendly lifestyle. Community-based learning further strengthens this role by encouraging interaction between students and local residents, leading to a positive behavior change. In addition, community tradition like Gotong Royong promote cooperative and shared responsibility, helping individuals take ownership of their environment. Together, these individuals, collectively active, contribute to a long-term sustainable and a healthier future for the next generation.
In advancing sustainability, we can involve mass media as a campaign. Mass media can shape on how society understands issues and influence the public opinion. The traditional approach uses one-way media such as newspaper, radio, and television. An example of traditional approach is by sharing HIV information through TV and radio to raise health awareness such as the HIV effects and the preventive measures. Moreover, the internet approach involves digital media with two-way communication, like social media platforms. For example, the government can promote programs such as e-waste disposal and tree planting through online like TikTok or Instagram to support SDG 12 and SDG 11.
5.3 Increasing funding and support for sustainability. Now, increasing funding and support is essential for strengthening sustainability efforts. With more financial resource conservation, renewable energy, and environmental education, programs can be planned and implemented more effectively. Funding from the government, private sector, or non-governmental organization provides important tools, facilitates, and training needed to carry environmental initiatives successfully. Higher budgets for the government agencies allow them to hire skilled staff, conduct research, and manage community programs effectively. In addition, providing financial support to waste management companies and environmental NGOs helps improve service qualities and innovation. Overall, stronger financial support not only improves the effectiveness of sustainability programs, but also encourages a greater public participation in protecting the environment.
Furthermore, improving policies on sustainability can make changes in advancing the sustainability. Public policy refers to the decision and action taken by the government to guide the society. The government can adopt policies that have proven successful in other countries. For instance, the Deposit Return Scheme (DRS), where consumers pay a small deposit for drink containers and get the money back when they return them for recycling. Additionally, the government can also encourage collaboration between the public and the private sector. For example, a collaboration program on installing solar panels in schools or a university where private companies handle installation and the maintenance while the government does not have to bear the entire cost, and schools or university can gain benefit from clean energy SDG 7 and reduce electricity costs.
In conclusion, advancing sustainable development is a shared responsibility that involves governments, interest and pressure groups, and the public. The Sustainable Development Goal (SDG) provide an important guide for addressing global issues such as poverty, inequality, and environmental damage. Interest and pressure group plays a key role by shaping policies, educating the public, and monitoring government actions through strategies such as lobbying, media campaigns, and partnership. However, challenges like political resistance, limited funding, and misinformation can slow the progress. Therefore, increasing the public awareness, using of mass media effectively, strengthening policy, and providing stronger support are essential to achieving long-term environmental and social sustainability. That is all. Thank you. That is all from us.